Tribal Council went exactly as planned. I couldn't have asked for a better, stronger, cohesive group going in, and I'm hoping that moving forward, the 4 of us can win some challenges, come merge. Hopefully the 4 of us can stick together and pull some of the people from their tribe and have a good cohesive group.
I wish I could have hung on to Josh longer. Josh is a really good friend of mine. Honestly, if we hadn't been losing challenges, Josh is someone I could have very much have seen taking to the end. But I didn't want to be the one they turned on by putting up too much of a stink about it. I would have really liked to get out James, but that seemed like that was too hard of a thing to pull off with the amount of time we had. So I have to go with Josh.
And he probably definitely would have sticked with us and been on our team, but unfortunately we weren't getting anywhere with challenges, and so we just kind of had to, we just had to pick somebody, and we needed James, and so James was definitely gonna get voted out at the merge, so we were like, we're gonna take him,
I felt so bad. I was like, yeah, well, we gotta send Hannah home. And he was like, no, I don't wanna vote Hannah. And I was like, yeah, it sucks to send any of us home, knowing good and well I was gonna have to write down his name. I mean, like, literally, it's like, I hate it. I feel really bad. I hope that he doesn't remember that.
It was Nathan, Jared, and I, and we were coming back from the water, and then we heard the other tribe come back from the tribal council meeting. We were like, bro, let's hide behind a tree and see who got voted off. So 3 of us hid behind a tree, and we noticed that it was Josh.
My team knew that Josh went home because they were getting water or whatever, and they saw Josh not walk back with them. I don't really care. I don't know Josh very well. He didn't seem like a very big threat. Didn't seem like he was trying that hard on that team. It makes sense.
It seems like on Tougaloo, there's a really tight trio between Lydia, Isabella, and James. After the last challenge, Matthew walked up to Hannah and Josh and said, all right, you're out. I'll see you later. We are pretty sure we have the pecking order down, and it's unfortunate because I love Josh. He's a great friend of mine, and it doesn't seem like he deserved to go that early. And it appears that Hannah's the next headed out.
Come on in, guys. All right, guys, make your way around. Find a spot with balloons. Stand in front of it. Doesn't matter which one. I'll take that back. Thank you, sir. How you guys feeling? How was that restaurant last night?
Amazing.
Good?
That was good.
Yeah.
Tougaloo, what's the deal with you guys? You guys, I don't know. You guys are looking a little tired there. Lydia, Hannah, didn't sleep so great last night.
How much energy we have.
We're fine.
Yeah. Tougaloo.
You don't want to, or you can't?
We don't want to.
You guys are having a rough go at
The
it.
coffee will hit you guys, and that's when we'll.
How are you guys feeling about this game right now, Tougaloo?
This challenge right here, I'll be fine.
You'll be fine? Yeah. All right. Well, I think it's about time we mix things up, so everybody go ahead and drop your... You guys like that black team.
That's right.
Just put it... You guys can put it up on... Yeah, you can put it up on the deck.
It's like a movie.
Alright, here's how this challenge works. We are doing trivia. Classic game in Survivor.
Yeah.
Behind you, you have 5 balloons. Okay? If you get an answer right, you get to pop someone else's balloon. All right. Once again, you guys are playing for individual immunity here. So once you have your decision, hold it up against your chest, and then we'll all reveal at the same time. All right. You guys ready to get started?
Yes,
Let's start nice and easy. What direction does the sun set in? Is it set in? What direction does the sun set in? Is it A, north, B, south, C, east, or D, west? All right, go ahead and reveal. The correct answer is D. Catalina, Isabella, you guys got it wrong. Matthew, what's the pop? Pop someone's balloon. That's one for James. Yep. James. Get him right back. Raul.
Get it wrong. No, I got it right. So I get the pick.
Yeah. James, hard feelings there?
No.
Hannah.
I know the bigger threat. They're scared.
All right. After the first round, we got James with 1 balloon left. Jarrett, you've got 2. Looks like there might be a little divide between the tribes here. I don't know if that's necessarily smart. You got to think about your game now. We have merged. It is you going for that $200. So think about that. All right, second question. What should you not do if you encounter a black bear? A, play dead. B, look as big as possible. C, make loud noises and yell. D, fight back. You got it? All right, everybody reveal. Correct answer is, I can't see. A, Jarrett and Lydia are the only ones that got it right. Jarrett? James, you're out of the game. You can come take a step behind me.
I will do it.
Did it work? Did it work?
Jarrett on his last leg. James out of the game. Everybody else full balloon. What is another name for the North Star? A, Pleiades. B, Polaris. C, Sirius. D, Orion. All right, go ahead and reveal. Correct answer is B, Polaris. All right, Jarrett. Go ahead.
Good night.
First balloon for Matthew. What is Georgia's state bird? A, chickadee. B, robin. C, brown thrasher. D, cardinal. All right, reveal. Correct answer is C. Everybody but Catalina, Raul, and Nathan. All right. What county does not neighbor Cherokee County? Douglas County. B, Pickens. C, Forsyth. D, Fulton. All right, everybody reveal. Correct answer is A. Once again, everybody but those 3. Lydia, you're out of the game. You'll still get the pop. All right, Matthew's over here. Saw the writing on the wall there. First one for Brandon, getting him back.
Bye.
All right, a question straight out of Survivor. If you do not have water, you should do this. You should not sleep, A. You should not eat, which is B. You should stay on your feet, which is C. You should stay active, which is D. Go ahead and reveal. The correct answer is B. Catalina, Nathan, Hannah, you guys got it right. All right, which of these venomous snakes live in Georgia? A. Common death adder. B. Eastern coral snake. C. Copperhead. D. Russell's viper.
I was not listening at all. Sorry. What?
Sucks. Everybody got your answers?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead and reveal. All got it right. Brandon.
That was a woman's touch there.
Yeah. Hannah getting hit hard. Getting a little payback on her brother.
That's okay, because now they have to turn on themselves.
Oh no, we're gonna turn on ourselves. Oh my god.
All I'm saying is I cannot wait for that first blindside. Which Native American taught the Cherokee to read and write? The Cherokee Indians, to be clear. A. Sequoia. B. Geronimo. C. Pontiac. D. John Ross. Right, reveal. A. Correct answer is A. Everybody but Raul. Correct answer is Sequoia. Anna with another one to finish her off. You can stay there to pop a balloon in. Or is she? No, she's planning ahead. She's taking Raul.
Oh.
Leaving Nathan to do it. Now, Catalina has a leg up. Hannah gets the pop. Seems like Catalina might be the only one thinking strategically in this game. Which of the following can you drink to kill intestinal parasites? A. Distilled water. B. Mango juice. C. Kerosene. D. Ginger ale. Alright, go ahead and reveal. Correct answer is C. Everybody got it right. Kerosene? Straight out of the Army Survival Manual.
Got me though.
Got one left. Catalina telling him to take hers. It's an interesting strategy. You got 3, 3, 3, and 1. All right, Brandon's out of this game. Take that back. Which of these rivers is not in Georgia? A. Chattahoochee. B. Coosa. C. Ossipee. T. Tallapoosa. Catalina, this is literally the last name.
What is Del Rios.
All right, go ahead and reveal. Oh. Correct answer is C. Ossipee. Catalina and Raul got it right.
Did you not get it right now?
No, I don't know rivers.
Jeff would have caught it.
Jeff would have thought it was
I guess. Why would I know that?
because you're of
All right. Which of these companies are not headquartered in Georgia? A. Coca-Cola. B. Delta. C. UPS. D. Verizon. Catalina, you got it? All right, let's go ahead and reveal. Correct answer is D. Verizon. Nathan's the only one that got it right. How long can the average person survive without water? A. 48 hours. B. 72 hours. C. 96 hours. D. 120 hours.
I don't know.
Ready? All right, go ahead and reveal. Correct answer is B. 72 hours. Nathan got it right. In what decade did the Georgia Gold Rush start? 1760s, 1790s, 1820s, 1850s. So we got it. Go ahead and reveal. Correct answer is C. Everyone but... This is the first time across any Survivor season that I've ever seen the final three talents working together.
Hey, I'm holding up the C.
Raul is out of this game. What should you never do when trying to start a fire? A. Place wet rocks near the fire. B. Situate the fire near a rock slide. C. Use a car battery to start the fire. D. Use dead wood to start the fire. You guys got your answers? Go ahead and reveal. The correct answer is A. Never place wet rocks. Let's get a close up on this balloon pop. Catalina wins individual meeting. Very first time. That was over here. All right, Catalina wins individual immunity, the very first one. I'll tell you what, that looked pretty cooperative, but after a few days out here, after a few more hours, I'm starting to think that might change. We might see a blind side here or there. All right, got nothing else for you guys. One of you guys will be headed home and will become the first member of our jury. Thank you guys.
Okay, this challenge was really frustrating because it was just, we were designed to lose it because the way that it was set up is we're low in the numbers and they're just gonna kind of like pop all our balloons and we're out. I think I got all my answers right and it still like didn't matter. We really couldn't make any difference just because we were under the numbers. So
that was a really fun challenge for me, but also very frustrating because obviously we went in without the numbers. I got everything, all the questions right except for one, but in the end my performance didn't really matter because my tribe was so outnumbered. It was just obvious that we weren't gonna win.
We kind of stood no chance because if, you know, all of them got it right, then they would just all take one person out at a time.
It's no surprise that they all popped my balloons first. I get it. They're probably thinking that they can pull Isabella over or Hannah over or maybe Lydia over more easily than they can pull me over. I'm proud of Catalina for beating the first challenge. I know it's kind of a little bit of a weird little wish-wash between Raul, Nathan, and Catalina at the end there, but that's at least one victory under her belt, and maybe she can feel a little bit more comfortable in making her own moves, and maybe we can pull her over to our side and get something rolling.
Coming into the challenge, my main goal was to just keep former Nkwasi as strong as possible. So after we had eliminated all the former Tougaloo members, I really needed my tribe to trust me, so we just decided democratically who would win the challenge.
I definitely didn't try that challenge at all. That was pure luck. Nathan actually gave some answers away, so that helped.
You know, it was a good one. You know, Catalina won. She's on our side, hopefully, but you know, we'll see how it goes.
I wasn't aware that there was going to be some sort of coordination. I knew that we were going to go after their four first, but it was good to see Catalina and Nathan and Raul working together to where there wasn't any sort of hierarchy at all. We didn't give any information away to the other tribe. They don't know who's at the top, they don't know who's at the bottom, which is going to make it very hard for them to try to choose to vote one of us out.
Guys, shh. So we merged, we lost Josh unfortunately, and now we are coming into a group of egotistical guys. So this is going to be very challenging to try to get somebody to come in on our side because, I mean, we're still very divided. It's still definitely their team versus our team, even though it's like they want to get their final 6, but it's like you're gonna have to turn on each other eventually.
I think we definitely have the advantage of most of my siblings on one side because they think I'm like the oddball out, so we kind of use that to our advantage in the game. And I definitely know that my tribe is we're strong, so we're really working together, and I guess we'll just see how far things will go, but I'm pretty confident that I'm safe. Well, I am, but I'm confident I'm safe in upcoming councils.
So we made it to the merge, got a good strong group of 3. We've got Hannah, and we're hoping that Hannah could pull some all-girls alliance, maybe pull my sister over from the opposite tribe. That'll give us a little bit of an even playing ground. And then we're hoping that Isabella can maybe pull over Jared or Lydia pull over Brandon, and then that'll give us the bigger numbers.
We made it the merge. I'm not really surprised that I'm here. I am a little bit worried going from here on out. Of course, we have Brandon, we have Jarrett that have people on the other team. If anything, I've got an idol in my back pocket that I can play. We'll see how this first merge vote goes.
Okay, so the second we merged, utter chaos breaks out because all of a sudden it's no longer a team game and it's a total free-for-all. And I know that Jarrett has his girlfriend on the other side. Brandon has his girlfriend on the other side. Catalina has 2 of her family members on the other side, and I have Hannah. So we can no longer rely on that buddy system we were working on for all of us purple boys and Catalina to stick together. It's utter chaos, everything's breaking down, and I know that I can't trust Brandon, and I know that I can't trust Jarrett, so my only option is to just try to get everyone to completely avoid the former Tougaloo members.
Our strategy that we've talked about is that if we see one of our 6 talking to their 4, that's a big red flag for any of us.
Even though we're now one tribe, we're still 2 tribes, really. We really just went to that challenge just trying to show Tougaloo that we're not one tribe anymore. We're still 2. Nikwasi on top, baby.
We're still very divided. I know I'm hearing chants of like top 6, and like Brandon came up to me and he was like, we're killing you guys. And I'm like, I literally said, I was like, I would rather be on my side than yours. And he was like, you're kidding? Like 6-4. So it's like, that was kind of the mentality, is just like, they're killing us and we're on the lower side of the numbers.
The merge is already looking bad. They have already started ignoring us. They basically, it doesn't even feel like we actually merged. It's basically like we're 2 different tribes just living on the same, camp pretty much. And so that part's a little frustrating because nobody will talk to us, literally nobody.
Going into the merge, we're obviously outnumbered. There's only 4 of us against 6 of them. So if they're smart, they'll just kind of pick us out one by one and then fight amongst themselves. If they're smarter, hopefully they'll just utilize the voting block of 4 and try to blindside one of their bigger targets. I don't know what they've been plotting amongst themselves. We haven't had a chance to talk with them yet, so we'll see what happens.
Anyone playing or watching this game always wants the smartest, most strategic, most willing to take risks and put themselves out there player to win. And they're not doing that. It's not that they're playing the smartest. It's that they are a giant school, like playground elementary bully. They aren't really honoring the rules. They automatically go into this thinking they're better than everyone else. No one wants to see that win at the end. There's no honor in that. There's not even really any intelligence in that. They are just using their advantage with the bronze right now to bully this game.
I realized that going to the end with one of 3 of these guys and being the one is probably not the best scenario. A lot of them are doing good things, are making big moves, and I'm kind of flying under the radar at this moment as not being a huge threat necessarily. So my plan is what I kind of came in here to do, and that's flip at some point. I would like to make a big move, get out someone on our tribe, be the first one to kind of make one of those big moves for Nikwasi. So just waiting for my opportunity to flip.
I've already talked in Brandon's ear about maybe getting Lydia and Brandon and Isabella and I to be together in an alliance at the merge, but that's the obvious strategy, and typically the obvious strategy can get me in trouble.
Jarrett and I have discussed kind of both flipping and linking up with both of our girlfriends on the Tougaloo tribe. Jarrett's a little bit iffy about it at this moment. I've been trying to convince him. I think it's a good idea. That's still my plan. I think it would be a good move for both of us, as we have some major threats on our side with Matt and Nathan. So I think it'd be a good move. I think there's a lot of trust that goes even beyond the game with our girlfriends that we could use to our advantage. And we know they're a little weak at this moment and just need numbers. And so I think it's a good move, and I'm hoping that Jarrett thinks the same.
After the challenge, Hannah comes up to me and some of the former Nikwasi members, and she tells us that she thinks James has an idol and possibly 2 idols because he had contact with 2 different clues. And so that's fantastic, because across our entire tribe, James was the first person we wanted to gun for. So now we got to figure out how to navigate idols, how to avoid them. Then our vote shifts to who do we think is the least likely to receive one of James's idols come tribal council.
I feel pretty good. I was able to do some talking to Nathan and Raul in the challenge, give them some information about James's idol and the fact that they want Nathan out first. And I'm hoping that when it comes down to it, when they're deciding me or James or someone else, that Nathan will put in that word for me that, like, hey, Hannah gave us all this information. Hannah's with us. where everyone else is unknown territory. And I just hope that'll give me the edge if my own team doesn't have my back in this council.
She told me that the Tougaloo tribe was gunning for me first. And that freaked me out, but I have no idea at this point how much I can trust Hannah. This is the first contact I've had with her since the start of the game, and she acts like a sheep, but she thinks like a wolf. And so I know it's totally within her capabilities to blindside me and be trying to gather intel for her tribe. So I don't even know if I can trust Hannah. They could be going for someone else. That's what freaks me out. I have no information to work on. All I have is fear tactics.
James, Isabella, and I never had time to rest. Literally, like, we constantly had to figure out how we could stir up that tribe. Looking at their tribe, I saw 2 potential holes. I'm seeing 2 potential holes for sure. Like, I look at Catalina as definitely a potential. Like, I mean, obviously I have James and Isabella in my alliance, so I'm like, that's, you know, they're all related, so it's like, that's a potential. Also at this point, I'm not sure about Raul's game. Like, I feel like he is tied to where he's at, but you know, he is sitting in this position where he doesn't seem to be a leader like Jarrett and the other guys, so it's like he could be the flip vote. So I'm looking towards Raul. I'm gonna be all over him, trying to get some, you know, any hint of loyalty from him or see what it's like. Right now, they're all kind of putting up a wall and we can't talk to any of them. They're all together all the time. But looking at their tribe right now, going into this tribal, like, if there's anyone I think can flip, it's gotta be Catalina or Raul, and I'm literally banking on that because we have no other choice.
We really wanted to get Catalina to flip over. She, you know, being related to James and I, we thought that she would be willing to hear us out at the least. You know, we kind of talked to Catalina a little bit, and she seems like she wants to flip, but I also don't know if she wants to. You know, at this point, I don't even know if we can trust her, just because we don't know what goes on in what went on in their camp, and we also don't know what goes on in their little huddles because they won't let us in or they won't let us talk to anybody. So it's really hard to try to see who would want to be in alliance with us because literally nobody will talk to us.
Jarrett and Brayden have an alliance, and everyone knows it because, like, they've been going off and they've been just really tight, and, like, it's kind of suspicious. It's kind of bad on their part, but so Luke, Nathan, and Raul have an alliance, and so I'm kind of like in the middle, and that's why I'm seeing both parts. But I know who the stronger personalities are, and I know what they'll lead me into, so I'm kind of aligning myself with, I hope I'm aligning myself with the right group.
Yeah, I think tonight's going to be a big vote. It's going to be interesting. First vote as a merged tribe. It'll definitely be revealing of who's with us, who's against us.
This is a big tribal council for sure because it's 6 on our team, 4 on their team. So this is the only time that a blindside would make sense because it would still be 5 on our team, 4 on their team.
It's a complete mess out here. We're pretty sure James has 2 idols. Matthew has an idol. Jarrett has an idol. Jarrett and Brandon are telling us they're not going to flip, and they're 100% going to flip. And that makes us scared because we built up this majority, and it would be the easiest thing in the world to take our team to the end. But I don't think that's going to work out. So now everyone's lying to everybody. People are being really shady, and everything's just complete chaos right now. So my best play is to try to get Catalina to give up her necklace as a form of trust, which is the biggest Hail Mary in the world, but that's where I'm at now. When I floated the idea of Catalina giving me the necklace, Jarrett tried to convince her that she wasn't allowed to do that according to the rules. I know that they can do this. I just have to convince her to actually do it. But Jarrett trying to convince her that she can't freaks me out, and Catalina told me that she would ask if she can. So now I'm worried about Catalina. Is she gonna try to use confusion as a last-minute excuse to end up not giving me the necklace? But I'm gonna get that necklace.
Well, I mean, I'm definitely safe for tonight, but as far as next tribal council, I'm definitely gonna be on the jury. I think this is just gonna be more of like to start to plant the seeds or figure out where the cracks are, and then, I mean, they know they're not gonna get any of our four votes from the jury, so we'll just see who wants it the most, who's the first approach us for like a parlay or anything, but we'll see what happens.
Obviously, I'm not super comfortable going into the merge. Obviously, with the numbers down, one of our old tribe members didn't win immunity. We'll just have to kind of get the vibe and see what everybody's feeling. I still have the hidden immunity idol, so they're probably gonna target Isabella or Lydia if they split the votes. But if they split the votes, then we'll have the majority and we can knock one of them out.
I'm gonna win. I have everybody wrapped around my finger. That or I'm going home tonight. I'm really nervous about tonight because I think Brandon and I think that Brandon and Jarrett are gonna flip. And if they do, that gives numbers to the other tribe. And if that happens, then Nathan, me, Raul, and Catalina are gonna get voted out one by one.
Tribal council tonight, I think, you know, we all have the idea. I came up earlier with the idea of like, we need to get James to flush his idol because we know that he has one. And we need him to flush it as soon as possible. So I was talking with the team. I was thinking, you know, we need to, as much as possible, make James think that he's gonna get voted out tonight. Whisper in some ears, talk to some people, and, you know, make him sweat a little bit because we know he's not going to play for anybody else. It's James. James wants to win. If he does get spooked, he's going to play the idol because he knows that he's probably going to be the first vote because he's the most unlikable or not the biggest threat, I guess is the best way to say it.
We're definitely on the lower side of the numbers. There is an element to this game. I found an idol like 5 minutes ago. And I'm not sure what to do with that. I also am speculating that James found the other idol. That's all speculation, but we definitely gave off a unified vibe. That's what we were all thinking, but right before we were starting to leave, we all kind of just got the suspicion that James has the other idol, which definitely plays into this next tribal, so.
Our idol searching was extremely stressful. It was almost like beating us while we were still down because we literally couldn't find the idols. And so we would go, we would lose a challenge, head back to camp, knowing we have tribal, we would look for the idol, couldn't find it. So it's just like, it was sucking. On the clue it had said like, it was on a cliff or something, and it was like underneath the ledge, it was where root meets water. So I'm like thinking like, I kind of had my spots picked out. I spent a lot of time in this one big tree up at the beginning of our camp and like just spent so much time there, and I could not find it, and I really felt like it was there, but I just decided to keep going down the creek, and I for some reason couldn't find it the night before. Like I didn't see it. I look and I see the idol just sitting there, and I'm like, it almost felt like it was just placed there because I still don't know how I missed it at first, but I literally was like, oh my gosh, like literally the best feeling in this whole game thus far. Like I could not believe I found it because James was like, okay, we have 2 more minutes and I find it, okay? And I just called Isabella over and I was like, dude, look what I found. And she was like, oh my gosh, and I was like, oh my gosh.
I'm not really sure what's gonna happen. I don't think there's enough time to work it out with the other tribe. They're not talking to us. They're very cocky over there. I think they literally all think they're the alpha. It's very clear that Jarrett is taking control and everyone else just literally listens to him. It's kind of like a boss and Rob dynamic, and they're all just blind to it. So
I'm not sure how the merge will go, but I'm feeling pretty good about it because I don't know if it's true or not, but I have pretty much everyone convinced that James has an idol and James is the biggest threat to them. So my goal right now is to protect the girls' alliance that we had because I can trust them, and I don't trust James. He honestly might have an idol. So I convinced my whole tribe that he does before we merged, and now I just convinced all those guys that he does. So I can't promise that I'll win, but I know I won't be first out in the merge.
Council, man, it's gonna be crazy because some people want to vote for this and that. We have alliances they don't want to break. I don't know, you just gotta stick with the strongest one, you know. I guess you gotta vote the strongest one too. So we'll see how that goes.
When we get to tribal council, I tell Jarrett, you're sitting with me there, and Matthew takes Brandon and he sits with him there. I've got them locked down. I have a plan to get Catalina to give me her individual immunity at the last second. That way, if the other tribes are voting for me, they'll have to figure out someone else to vote for at the last second. While they're doing that, me and Matthew have to have Jarrett and Brandon locked down. If they're gonna change the vote, they're not gonna be able to figure out who it is. This is the only way we can keep our tribe together while not trusting our tribe at all.
All right. So, you got a big group here. Seemed like there was a lot of talking, even headed up this way. There's a lot to think about. Nathan, how important is it to consider the jury up here? The first person voted off, becoming the first member of the jury?
I think at this point, if you're trying to set up a jury in your favor, you're working on some 4D chess level that's a bit too much. I think everyone wants to make sure they're here for the next hour, and that's about as much as I can take right now.
Jarrett, so it seems like we've kind of got the 6 from Nikwasi, the 4 from Tougaloo. Obviously, a simple, if you're thinking of this simply, you might think, well, we have the majority. This is easy enough to just vote them all off, right? Mm-hmm. Is that kind of the thought there?
Absolutely.
Okay, so tell me this. What if you're the bottom of that 6? Do you think you have a chance at winning that $1 million if you're just being dragged along as a goat?
I would much rather be the 6th person out and have my 5 teammates win than see someone else win from the other tribe.
Brandon, when we think about that final jury though, we often think about the difference between a good player and a GOAT is making big moves.
Right.
Do you think we might anticipate maybe a big move tonight, someone adding something huge to their resume?
I don't anticipate it. Not tonight. I think tonight is should be a simple vote. And I think we move on when we get to the bigger moves when we get there. We do expect some idols to be played. See what happens. It's been a while since camp's been going on, but no, I don't anticipate it tonight.
So it sounds like you think there's some idols out here. We haven't seen one played yet.
Right.
Matthew, do you think anybody's got an idol here?
For sure. 100%.
If you had to guess, do you know anybody that might have an idol?
James definitely has an idol.
James, what are your thoughts? Do you think anybody from maybe the Nikwasi tribe has an idol?
Oh yeah, but I mean, you can tell right off the bat like who's not making it, and also to make it to bottom 6 means literally nothing.
I would love.
I think at this point, we already know we're going to be the first one voted out, so that's 4 votes that none of the bigger mouths are going to get. So that makes it an option for Raul, Nathan, Matt. Like Brandon and Jared are not getting 4 votes at least. So there's that.
Yeah, that brings up a good point. Hannah, as far as that goes, if you are that bottom of the 6.
So hold on, you're saying that goats just get votes? That's your jury scenario there?
Are you a goat?
No, you're implying that everyone else besides me and Jared are goats, so they get votes, but we don't.
Well, I mean, interpret it however you want, but you're not getting my vote.
I thought big moves win games.
It's too early for a big move. Yeah, you guys aren't making any big moves.
You just said you're gonna go the easy route out.
Yeah, you're just going the easy route.
And then Nathan said he's happy finishing on the bottom 6, so that's where it makes it hard.
Super happy.
That's where it makes it hard.
That's like what? What's the math? 8 other people? I get to be like.
But no one plays Survivor to be in it for the bottom 6.
There's no second place prize here, guys.
Yeah.
Sometimes beggars can't be choosers.
You have no idea.
Unless
there's a sprint reward.
6 and 3.
From an outside perspective, when you guys have watched the show, I'm thinking I'm hearing a little bit and seeing a little bit of smoke and mirrors. I think people can talk about I'm okay being the bottom 6. I know that each and every one of you guys out here is a competitor. You guys want that $200. You want, more importantly, the title of Soul Survivor. Imagine being able to hold that over the rest of you guys. I know you guys are competitors out here. So I think I'm seeing a little bit of smoke and mirrors there. Hannah, there's something to be said if you're the bottom of that 6 and you make a big move to save those 4 people, you've got all of them indebted to you. That puts you in a pretty good power position. What do you think about that?
Right. If they just pick off the new tribe one by one, they're going to have sealed all their fates in the very beginning. And because they all know. They may say they don't know who's the top 3, but they know at this point. So if you haven't figured out that you're in that bottom 3, you're sealing your fate if you pick us all off.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
If the roles were reversed and y'all were top 6 and we were bottom 4, who in your top 6 would get voted out?
I'm sorry, do 6 people get a prize? You want to go with 3 people that you can win against the jury. Are you thinking about the end game or one more vote? Does it really matter to be out for one more vote if you can't win?
6th place finish on the wall.
Here's my thing.
Literally bull.
I said it before. I said the last challenge. I said goodbye to Josh. I said goodbye to you because they don't care about you either. You're going to be the first one to go on your team.
You're literally voting.
Yeah, we already know who you guys are voting for.
I love that you think you have everything figured out. That's adorable, Matt. We'll see.
Thanks. If you think about these people, if they just go the easier out here and they just vote out the 4, as a fan of the show, is that exciting? Is that fun? You know, part of this is you guys are out here to have fun. You're out here to make big moves.
Absolutely. I mean, they say that they're so close knit and tight, but I'm definitely the bottom of this tribe, and so I know I'm going to be on that jury, and it's just going to be fun to see it all unravel and to see everybody stab each other in the back.
If I'm on the jury, I don't want to vote for people that just sat back and never made a big move. I want to vote for who
played the game.
Yeah, played the game. Not I'm
you
good.
guys are missing
top
the point
6
that we
the whole
played
time.
the game up until this point.
Yeah.
We won immunity
You
challenges
don't
to
win
get
the
us to this point.
$200 for writing your leadership.
We won immunity challenge to get us to this point, Hannah.
Right now, everybody's just holding on to each other.
The reason why we have more numbers.
It's now individual immunity. That doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, but we got ourselves to be at least to the top 6, and we'll figure it out when we get there.
Just because we're.
So Brandon, you bring up an interesting
There's
point
still
though.
alliances within the
So
team.
yeah, your teammates might have carried you there in those challenges, but what about when things start to get rough and you don't win challenges, and then you're thinking about maybe I'm the next one to go? I mean, is that something you're worried about?
I think it's one of those things that we'll figure it out when we get there. Us top 6. I think that's when it becomes fun for us, and that's when we'll compete in individual immunity challenges. That's when it gets more fun for the jury to watch, and that's when the real players and big moves will come out.
I'm just worried about how much I hate the Tougaloo tribe.
Catalina. So obviously being the only girl on that tribe there, you've made it this far. You know, won some big challenges, obviously, helped your team out there. Are you worried about your position in that tribe?
There's definitely a lot of behind the scenes for everyone. Like everyone has, like it's your own game. In Survivor, yeah, you make alliances, but when it comes down to it, you're on your own, and you obviously have to think about that throughout the whole game. And like I said, it is going to be very funny, but I think it is fair, like for our council to vote like who's been playing the game, and we've all pretty much been doing that. And it has been a little weird being the only girl on all guys tribe, but it's been fun, actually. I've enjoyed it. I wouldn't change anyone in my tribe.
Puzzle point.
I wouldn't change anyone.
Raul, what you thinking, man? You seem like you're relaxed. You're not worried about going home tonight?
I'm worried.
He's on the bottom
I'm worried,
3.
You know? I mean, I am worried, but just gotta see how it goes, how it plays out. So, look, how much to say, you know?
All right. Well, we've had a lot of discussion. You know, it seems like there might be a clear answer, but if there's a time for a big move, this might just be it. Time to vote.
Take that lead.
Catalina, you've got the individual immunity. Are you holding on to that?
I am not. I would like to hand this to Nathan.
Well, thank you.
All right. Building some trust there, Nathan. That means tonight you will be safe. Nobody can vote for Nathan.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
All right. It's time to vote.
Can you guys stop? Damn, what I thought I heard.
Hopefully this is the right call. We'll see. If not, I'm probably going home. I'm on the exit, I don't play my idol, so we'll see how your split votes go. want to go tally votes? Yeah. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and they want to play it, now would be the time to do so.
What do you think? Better safe than sorry.
This is a hidden immunity idol. Any votes for James will not count. Anybody else? All right. I'll read the votes.
Well, they wouldn't let you hold the idol.
Hannah. Matt. That's one vote Hannah, one vote Matt. Hannah. 2 votes Hannah, 1 vote Matt. Matt. Try it again. 2 votes Hannah, 2 votes Matt. Hannah. 3 votes Hannah, 2 votes Matt. Matt. 3 votes Hannah, 3 votes Matt. Try it again. Hannah. 4 votes Hannah. 1 more vote for Hannah and she's out. Matt. Try it again. First member of our jury, Hannah. Give me your torch.
Well, they changed when we said me torch.
Because of you.
Why?
Because they knew you had an idol.
I had to play. I had to be safe.
James, I
Hannah,
told you.
your tribe has spoken.
Yes, I did. No, I said they were whispering over here saying her name. I could hear everything.
You didn't tell me that.
Yes, I did.
Is that what your mouth is?
And take it up to the house. All right.
You're so loud. Yes, I know. I'm like.
There has not been a big move yet. All I want to know is who's going to be the first to make that big move and go down in Survivor Cherokee history. All right, guys, we've got nothing else for you. Head back to camp.
That was pretty frustrating. I feel like the reason I went out was a lack of communication. There was a lot of last minute scrambling, and I feel like if my tribe had just had 1 more second to communicate, we would have won that vote.